Yo dudes, you guys like going to the gym? I take it everyone is a big fan of the numbers going up. It turns out you get a bunch of other things over time at the gym, some targeted and some unintentional. In this one, I'll talk about the battle pass you get to grind while slamming the rocks, dropping the weights, and gripping the bar. It's great that the developers put this stuff in. It really helps with player retention while we farm muscle mass. Can you imagine if literally nothing happens when you work out? Can you imagine doing the same thing every day with a slight variation hoping for a change? Could not be me, brother. Not to fret, this battle pass is non-linear, so you might get these things out of order and to different degrees. Some of these might be gender or region locked, so you need to talk to the devs if you don't get them or something. Oh yeah, for legal reasons, there's zero science behind everything I'm about to say. Okay, here we go. Right, so the easiest one to notice and put on social media is the physical changes. You might actually get these a few weeks in. At least for the man class, the typical build has us pushing for the inverted Dorito shape. Some players might forgo the lower torso and end up with one of these. Once you unlock the initial body changes, you might get a few more of these later on in the pass. From what I understand, it's prime time to start posting pictures like these. The phone hold and mirrors are very critical. Now thanks to all that maneuvering, you might have lost a couple of pounds and unlocked yourself a new sharpness to the chin. With that bleeding edge technology, you can be the envy of all your friends at parties and be the focus of mocking memes. It's pretty common to put lots of effort in the back so one can develop a new set of wings. Now you might be thinking to yourself, now that I've dumped all these points into the visuals, will other people notice the changes? Yes, of course. The hard work will be recognized, but probably in unexpected ways. This leads us to the next BP reward. Right, so we're all familiar with the compliments basically all coming from other dudes that also go to the gym and probably also do the same thing as us. Damn, this really is kind of cultish. Sometimes the commentary are actually kind of bizarre. Some of it might be Gen AI dialogue, but let me just give the class some anecdotal, totally real examples. Right, so during like this one anime NYC, I was walking out the convention with my friend. We bought all our weeb goods and we're heading to the hotel to simmer down. For the athletes that touch grass and haven't been to one of these, there's usually people passing out their mixtapes outside to the attendees. I'm actually not too sure. It might just be because there's a lot of people. Anyways, we walked by this one dude who tried to hand us one and I kind of just ignored him. He said something to us and my friend burst out laughing. I was kind of out of it, so I asked Guy what the mixtape man said. My friend was like, dude, he said you look like a pack of steroids. I thought to myself, this is no good. I could naturally go back and say I was natty now to clear those ped allegations. So this one is more for lifting and whatever, but it turns out it also applies to running. One other time I was doing hit sprints and stomping my feet on the treadmill. The grandpa next to me came up to me and asked if I could let him know when I come in so he can work his schedule around it. He asked us because the treadmill was the one he liked using. I was like, okay, sure. So that part was pretty normal. But then he hit me with the, man, you were going pretty fast. You were like a terrorist. I'll go on to the next one. So this one is actually kind of cool. To make sure we hit the macros, one usually looks at the nutrition info on food labels now. This scales pretty well when you factor in things like reduced sugar, balanced diet, and counting calories. Really healthy, green, and recycling. To boost progression, I think it's all natural to jack up that protein intake. It usually starts pretty small, like yeah, I'll do double chicken at the Chipotle, and it gets a little min-maxy when we start looking at how much protein we can add into our sodas and dish detergents. Like really, brothers, I think there's a legitimate belief that each bite at the unlimited barbecue is another fiber in the biceps. Like maybe we're 30,000 calories into the day and one more bite is another step closer to the emergency room, but brother, that value cannot be left on the table. That chicken died for our gains and it would be heresy to not eat it. Some of us end up putting points into the cooking tree. This is usually a chance to create a healthy and delicious custom meal. Who am I kidding? This is prime time to grab every animal from the meat aisle and slam it into the slow cooker and hope the bowel functions after whatever comes out the other side. I'll give a few example builds. I remember in college, each custom built lunch was like grilled chicken thigh, steak, and like a squirt of ketchup for lubrication. Nothing that wasn't red at one point, it was like an item set bonus. It really made grocery shopping easier since I just bought the exact same chicken thigh and beef cubes for like 2 years during school. Dude, I think they like injected water into the thighs to jack up the price of inflated weight. I don't think there's protein in water. I might have been played. During the pandemic, I was waiting to start work, so just stayed at home all day and played video games. To minimize time in kitchen and maximize time on desk, I ate like chicken thigh with corn for a good number of meals. My friends thought it was kind of psychotic when I shared it in the Discord, but I'll give some rationale behind the build. Having the thighs pre-cooked and the condiments just cracking open a corn one is like 2-minute assembly time. You can actually cut like 2 minutes if you forego reheating the thighs, but that's really up to personal preference and health concerns. Like, really, it's a good speed meal. Everyone should try it. Yeah, now that I think about it, this is probably the true goal of the gym. You can lift up heavier objects. Depending on if you're a desk job man, you might end up nagging to use this as often in the real world. The most common times is like, I don't know, opening a jar or something and being like, yeah, dude, that monthly subscription, custom diet, improved sleep schedule, hell yeah, brother, that's it right there. But like on rare occasions, people will ask you to pick up heavy objects. Now, it could be something straightforward like a box or something, but sometimes it's legit like a 300-pound thing, and one wrong move could mean a new skeleton composition. You gotta ask yourself, is it really worth potentially dislocating my bones for a cool party trick? Why are you nodding? Brother, why are you nodding? Right, so once you start, you basically keep going. It's like sunk cost fallacy for meatheads. The common belief is that man is going to turn microscopic the moment a gym day is missed. But like in a sense, it's kind of a good thing. I mean, with all the IG, YouTube, Reddit, Xiaohongshu, Apple stock app content you consume regarding lifting, it's like you're getting peer pressure into going to the gym. Like those 5 a.m. high testosterone motivation videos with dudes in podcasts and scenes from action movies are going to go to waste if all that drive is spent on picking up rocks. Really, there's a religious and multi-leveling marketing aspect to this as well, because now there's a tendency to invite other people to go to the gym with you. You get to continue the time-honored tradition of teaching your friends the compound lifts of hitting the bench, going lower on a squat, and doing everything under the sun to not snap a spine on the deadlift. Congratulations, you've completed the battle pass. You've unlocked all the collectibles. You now look different, lift different, eat different, and have gotten all those around you hooked on the movement. Hopefully the developers add some cool unlockables when they release Gym 2. But yeah, that's basically everything. See you later, bruh.